What if you were told that all of your disease, addiction, depression, anxiety that you are facing could be fixed by a potion? Not many people know of this potion. It's just a simple brew from 2 natural plants in the forest, although it's said to have profound, life-changing effects that once consumed, you will have no control over. It will take you on a journey to a different universe. It will show you wonders, unveil new knowledge, or it will confront you with your deepest regrets, fears, forcing you into darkness, showing you hell, until you eventually emerge clean, leaving behind all your ailments, a new, better you, supposedly. Now, you were offered this drink in the middle of a forest. Would you drink it? Ayahuasca. It's an ancient, spiritual brew, said to have originated in the Amazon as early as 1500 BC. It's been used for thousands of years as a healing tool for a long list of illnesses. It's created with 2 main ingredients. Firstly, the ayahuasca vine, which contains the monoamine oxidase inhibitor needed for the hallucinogen to get to the brain. And secondly, the leaves from a plant called chacruna, which contains the hallucinogen DMT. This is the most traditional recipe for the mixture. These 2 plants together, brewed into water and then strained to create the very potent psychoactive tea we know as ayahuasca. Ayahuasca has been gaining popularity in modern countries much like Australia since the 1990s. With its rising use, it creates some cautions as to the interactions of this shamanic brew in our modern medicine, culture and lifestyle. But how does this tea, just made from 2 plants in the forest, affect us to this extent? How do we know it works at all?
So I'm Adam Griffin. I'm a doctor and I'm the director of the Clinical Forensic Medicine Unit here in Queensland. So hallucinogens are substances that affect the brain to interact or to change how you perceive the environment around you. Those drugs that have direct hallucinogenic effects, these are basically directly as a result of manipulation of chemicals within your brain. When you start actually interfering with the normal balance of those chemicals in your brain is when you actually get then a change in that perception. Ingesting dimethyltryptamine without the MAO means that most of it will get digested by the liver, so it won't go into the brain. Taking it with the enzyme inhibitor means that you get a substantial amount going through that will interact with the nerve cells in the brain. And that's almost certainly why it's present in this particular tea, is actually to allow the active agent to escape that metabolism by the liver.
Although getting high in the middle of the forest may not sound appealing to most people, in our modern, chaotic lifestyles, many people see ayahuasca as a solution to their problems or a source of understanding about who they are. Because of this, it's often the people with a troubled past who tend to seek out these life-changing effects of ayahuasca.
Yeah, it was around that age, 15, I was rebelling and trying to work out who I was in the scheme of things, and it was even then I had these questions of my existence. What was I here for? What was this all about? And that's when I started asking these deeper questions, even at that younger age. But then, because I was rebelling at this stage in life, I was going out to nightclubs and to raves, rave parties, and there's a lot of drugs and alcohol and a lot of things that a young teenager shouldn't be really getting up to. But I was on that path, and that was the path that was chosen for me, as I see it now. The partying and the substance abuse, basically at the bottom of it all, what it was self-abuse, and that most especially can be found with when I was starting to suffer like really quite bad anxiety and depression, or what I didn't know that it was depression to start with. And this whole time I was still having these thoughts of, you know, what really is the meaning behind all of this. And that's when I found out about ayahuasca and Amazonian shamanism. I had the great fortune of travelling over to Peru, and it was truly life-changing. Like one time, I think it was the second or third ceremony that I had, I touched last night on something very deep inside my soul, my spirit, or whatever you want to call it. I tapped onto something that was what that thing was that was making me unhappy, and it was down this tunnel inside me, and I got to this trapdoor. I knew there was something under it. I knew there was some kind of force or pressure that was under it, and something was telling me just to try and force this door open. And as I was thinking that, I could feel the shaman tuning back into my energies, and he come from across the other side of the room, and I could hear his chanting. And he's just coming right up to me, and he's chanting and blowing his mapacho tobacco smoke all over me. I'm feeling like, oh, there's something needs to come up. Oh, what's that? Oh. And then I'm concentrating more on this in my mind, more on this trapdoor, trying to pull it open, and then the shaman grabs my head like that and my crown up here and draws out the energy like that, and then I just blew this trapdoor open, and all this gunk, black, dark energy matter just starts just flowing straight out. And that's when I just went blah, and I just started purging like for like 10 minutes. It felt like longer than that, but I was purging all of this gunk, this gross stuff out. I've been fasting all day, and drinking a minimal amount of water, and I only just drank 30 to 40 mils of ayahuasca, and I'm puking all of this gunk, all of this stuff out of me, and I'm wondering, where is this all coming from?
There's no doubting that ayahuasca can have immense, even therapeutic effects in someone's life. But with the reactions like continuous vomiting, what are some of the health concerns of being exposed to such powerful drugs?
In reading about the so-called normal experience of ayahuasca, that you can expect to be vomiting and you can expect to potentially soil yourself, I would be very concerned from the outset that there's such physiological effects are seen as normal. Part of the ingredients of ayahuasca themselves have also been used as carpet dyes. In traditional medicine, they apparently can induce abortions. These are all things that we would be immediately concerned about, are clearly having toxic effects on a body. These are not normal signs or symptoms. Vomiting itself doesn't sound terrible, but if it's uncontrolled emesis, so you're constantly vomiting, you can actually get deranged electrolytes, or the salts in your body, because you're constantly losing hydrogen and chloride when you lose your stomach contents. Effects also aren't necessarily predictable, because the concentrations or content of what you're getting are not like a pill. They've not been measured or tracked by somebody. It's done by a brewing process, and the actual amount of active ingredient varies considerably from dose to dose. I understand that people have positive experiences. I understand that people have negative experiences. I'm unsurprised that there's a spectrum of experiences when what you're getting is an unknown. Look, it's illegal in Queensland. There's legislation that specifically describes the how and why it's illegal, and it's our interaction with the court and the legal process that makes us very aware of that.
Now, you are offered this drink in the middle of the forest. Would you drink it?
I feel like weights have come off me, so it's quite enlightening, literally.